Now, I've got to admit, I'm a lucky man. I get to fish a whole lot. And I fish so much that I like to set up little challenges for myself just to see if I can accomplish them. And I've got a really interesting one set up for tomorrow. I want to see if I can catch a limit of redfish using nothing but locally made baits. So I'm going to head on over to Delacroix, Louisiana, one of my favorite places to fish. Haven't been there in a few weeks. Definitely time to make a Delacroix trip. But before I do, I noticed on my last trip, I had really kind of depleted my bait supplies, so I have to go restock, and the perfect place to do that is about 3 or 4 miles from my house at Academy. So come along with me, let's see what we can find. That sunrise. All right, I sat around the marina for a little bit talking to Jack, so I'm getting a little bit later start than I intended, but that's okay. The water here is gorgeous. I don't know if you can see my trolling motor foot. It's pretty impressive. So I'm starting with an Echo 1.75 crankbait. I don't know how feasible it is to fish this right here because of... Is that a fish? First cast, what is this? What in the world? First cast. Look at this, giant redfish. What the heck? I wasn't even sure I had a fish. But as I was saying, I'm not sure if this Echo is gonna be feasible here because I don't know what the grass situation is. But with this water clarity, whoo, this is a favorite bait. Now it usually catches some really nice redfish. Obviously this isn't one of them. Well, hopefully the first cast curse does not apply because that was just a baby. And I'll be alternating between this and my H&H Gold spinner in areas that are thicker grass. Now, we've got a very odd situation today. It's the last Thursday of August, but we've got a north wind. A little cool front has come through. It's supposed to blow out of the north all day. Not what you'd expect for this time of year. You can see how low that water is. Lots of bank exposed. This is just the tail end of that fall. It's not gonna be falling much longer. I tell you what, this water gives me a lot of confidence. The clarity of this water, the amount of bait I'm seeing. This is my first stop of the day and it looks really good. I should be able to find some fish in here. So you have to cover some water and keep hunting. You can see how low the water is. These Trinasas are already drained. No water coming out of them anymore. One there and one there. These fish have got to be concentrated in this little bit deeper water. Just got to find them. We are going to find some fish. It's just too perfect. Oh, there's a fish. Come on, big boy. That's a nice redfish. That's a keeper red. I don't know how big he is. I'm thinking 20 inches, somewhere around there. He's not small, we'll say that. Oh, he's a little bigger than 20 inches. 22, somewhere in there. Let's see if we can get him in the boat. There we go. Fish number one. Well, fish number two, but first keeper. All right, let's see how big this boy is. My ruler only goes to 20 inches, so I have to guesstimate a little bit. He's about 22. I tell you what, I actually think I'm gonna keep him. He's a little bit outside of the range I normally keep, but Labor Day weekend's coming up and I wanna fry some fish, so let's keep him. All right, there's a couple of things I want to show you. First off, I caught this fish on a bait that you've seen a ton if you watch this channel regularly. This is a gold H&H number 4 Cajun spin. It's the one with the flexible wire. They also make a more heavy-duty bait designed exclusively for redfish. I prefer this one. And as I've told you before, these things get torn up. These wires are not intended to catch redfish, but I feel like this bait has a lot more vibration and you get a lot more hits. They're not very expensive, so you can change them often. Now, team with this, I've got a 1/4 ounce death grip jig head made by Captain Lane Zimmer in Marrero, Louisiana. And threaded on that, I've got a shrimp creole colored matrix shad made by Chaz Champagne in Slidell, Louisiana. Oh, and H&H based in Baton Rouge. This is all Louisiana product. The other thing I wanted to show you, where I got that fish, there's just a big grass flat right here. Doesn't mean I wouldn't fish this, that you can't catch anything there, but I really like how that grass wall is close to this bank here. It's not a coincidence in my view, that's where I caught that fish. And it extends all the way to that point. So that's an indication there's deep water right there, and those redfish will run up and down that looking for something to eat. I tell you, early in my fishing career, I used to be a real Speckled trout snob. It was all I wanted to catch. Almost hated redfish. I even wrote a book on speckled trout. But all that's entirely changed now. It doesn't mean I don't love catching speckled trout. I certainly do. It's my favorite fish still, but I really, really like these reds as well. Just really like this style of fishing. Covering water, fishing new stuff, fishing smart, looking for spots that should be holding fish. There's a definite art to it. Now, none of this looks any good to me. You can see patches of grass out here, probably very, very flat. Could be some fish in there, definitely some bait I'm seeing. Just not as intriguing to me. But it looks like the bayou continues up this way. So I'm kind of speed through this, make a few casts, and try and get in that bayou. All right, I can see on that crab trap buoy, the water's pushing that way, so it's now rising. We've endured the change. All right, I'm nearing the end of this bayou. With the conditions, I thought we would have caught more fish than we did, but that's the pitfall of exploring. You just don't really know till you get there. But the great thing about this area is there is endless possibilities of where to fish. So we're just gonna make a little run, go find something else. All right, we made a fairly significant move, and just like the area we left, this area's got some beautiful water. I mean, beautiful water. So we just gotta locate some fish. That's all there is to it. Nothing to it. Oh, man, I got popped. There he is. What are you? Man, you're tiny. Huh. Look at this, another baby red. Got him right in the nose. Sorry for the education, dude. You'll benefit from it in the long run. Your nose will heal. Now I'm throwing this color, the Echo 1.75, because I'm hoping to catch some bass as well. Really, I prefer the gold shad color if I'm just targeting reds. I don't feel like bass hit that one as well, but I might switch in just a minute. I just had a fish follow me right to the boat, and that was a good size redfish, and he didn't hit it, which tells me they're interested, but the color's maybe just a little bit off for them. Oh, there's a fish. Boy, did he pop it. Nice redfish. Maybe a keeper. I don't think, though. I think he's a little small. I don't think this one's gonna make the cut. Definitely a nice fight, though. He smoked this Echo 1.75. All right, it's 3 undersized redfish I caught on that kind of whitish Echo 1.75. I don't know what the proper color name is. So I went ahead and made the change to the gold shad, hoping to catch some bigger redfish. The bass don't seem to like this color as much, but the redfish definitely do. It's a high confidence bait for me when I'm targeting reds exclusively. Now, interestingly, this little bayou I'm fishing looks more like bass habitat than it does redfish habitat. But you know, they crowd all the same stuff. Is this not the prettiest place ever? I mean, look at this, it's gorgeous. Back here where nobody else is fishing. I'm sure people have fish back here, but definitely got a lot of peace and solitude. So I'm a fisherman and in no way a botanist, but I keep seeing these flowers in this area, and I don't know what they are. I think the white ones are irises, but I don't know what the purple ones are. Maybe hibiscus? I don't know, but they're incredibly beautiful. Anybody out there know what we're looking at? If so, reply in the comments section, because I'm very curious. Man, so many alligators back here, it's incredible. Parts of Louisiana are already in alligator season. I don't know if this area is or not yet. If I happen to fall in, I'll probably get devoured. If you find my camera, please post it to the Marshman Masson channel. It'll certainly go viral. All right, couple undersized fish, but mostly this bayou has been a bust. Time to move. All right, my bayou bite just is not working out. Let's see, I think I just hit 2. So I've decided to switch gears a little bit and come to this main lake. Now the water here is also really, really nice. I tell you, just an endless sea of crabs getting swept along in this current. Endless. They all look like redfish bait. If I was a redfish, this is where I'd be. Boy, look at that pretty little trenasse. That tide we're falling. Whew. That'd be a spot to hit. Oh, there's a fish. What are you? Oh, a nice bass. Big old bass. Look at this big boy. All right, beautiful bass. That was interesting. I wonder if he followed me out because he hit me about halfway back to the boat. Whoo, boy, he barely hooked. It's the beauty of fishing here in South Louisiana. Target reds, you're gonna catch bass. Target bass, you're gonna catch reds. The only time that's really a problem is if you're fishing a bass tournament. Or I guess fishing a redfish tournament. All right, our day of exploring downtown Delacroix continues. And I gotta say, it's been tougher today than I expected. This hard rising tide is not helping. This high bluebird sky post cool front certainly is not helping. But those are just excuses. I'm bound and determined to find some fish, and I'm confident I will. I left that really, really clean water and have found some water that, believe me, is very good. But it's not quite as good. With this high sky, I really feel like I want some water with a little bit of stain to it. Now, if I had started here today, I would have said this is gorgeous water. It's just not as pretty as what I left. What are you? Bass, nice bass. Well, not nice, but a bass. He hit me right next to the boat, unexpectedly. Oh, there's a fish. Oh, it doesn't feel like a big one. Does not feel like a big one. Little red. Maybe a keeper red, but I don't think. I think he's a little bit undersized. Oh, he's gonna be close. Whew, he's gonna be close. I think he's under. My guess is under, but he is kind of long. Of course, here in Louisiana, redfish have to be 16 inches, and I don't think this one's gonna make the cut. Well, I shouldn't have been so pessimistic. He's 16¼ inches, and he will be very, 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 very good to eat. Welcome aboard, boy. Oh, there's a fish. There's a fish. Nice redfish. Oh, so pretty in that clean water. He's gonna be borderline. I don't know if he's gonna make it or not. Might be like the last one, just barely make it. I think he makes it. That's my guess. Another one on the spinner bait, definitely the hot bait of the day. Whew, he wasn't getting off. All right, another one that makes it. Barely long enough. So I pushed back into some shallow water on the edge of this lake because the tide's getting really high and these fish are clearly pushed back into the shallow stuff. Now, as a general rule, Stevie Wonder is a better sight fisherman than I am. It's just not my strength. I like doing it when I go with guys who do it a lot, but I'm kind of quasi sight fishing and also just blind casting. It's really kind of windy to try and just do pure sight casting. Believe me, the guys who do it regularly would have no trouble. But again, it's just not my thing. I should really be standing on my ice chest. All right, I'm kind of stuck in the mud, and while I am, I'm just gonna move that ice chest up. Look at that push. That's a redfish. I find with pushes like that, you really just got to get lucky. You can't really see the fish and see where he's going, see what his attitude is. Seems like you maybe catch, I don't know, 1 out of 10, maybe even worse than that. But you got to throw at him. Now I've switched over to a matrix craw, another good local product made by the same people that bring you matrix shad. It's just a really good redfish bait, particularly for this sight fishing scene. The great thing about it, you can rig it weedless, and you'll still get hung up in the weeds here and there and have to clean off your craw. But by and large, you can pull it through all the salad and drop it right in front of the fish. Oh, there goes a red. Oh, he's spooked though. As you can probably hear on the microphone, we're heading straight to that wind now. Not an ideal situation. In fact, I should probably throw that spinnerbait again until I get to a point where I can actually see something. Oh, there's a red. There's a red. Let's see if we can get him to bite. Oh, I spooked him. Oh, he bumped it. I missed him. He bumped it, but I missed him. Well, I've seen a few reds in here. That's a good sign. Believe me, if I've seen them, there's a bunch of reds in here. Oh, there he is. Another red. Oh, that's a better fish. That's a better fish. That's a better fish. Let me turn this spot lock on. Oh, that's gorgeous. Man, is that pretty. All right. Look how gorgeous that fish is. Wow, look at that. He's all messed up. Little birth defect. All right, fish number 4. We just got one left in our Louisiana bait challenge. Without question, this spinnerbait has been the hot bait of the day. Caught a handful in Echo 1.75, which by the way is also a Louisiana company. It's Bill Lewis Lures, same people who make Rattle Trap, located in Alexandria. Oh, look at that. Hopefully you got that. Hopefully that came out on camera. That may have been the most awesome redfish strike I've ever seen. I was about to pick up the spinnerbait and he about ripped the rod right out of my hands. That was flat out awesome. Now, if you remember, I talked about how delicate these spinnerbaits are. So that keeps me from horsing this fish in, because they can give out. But I'll tell you this, you get so many more strikes, it's just worth it to me. Even if I lose this fish, which obviously I hope I don't, it's still worth it. Let's see, come on this way, big boy. Come on, we're gonna hop you right into the boat. Let's get you going the right way. Come on, there we go. All right, fish number 5. That completes our Louisiana Slam. All local baits and plenty good enough to catch an easy limit of redfish. Awesome. That was so much fun. I didn't see that fish at all until a split second before he hit the bait. He came out of the blue and just tattooed that spinnerbait. Well, mission accomplished. I wouldn't mind catching a few more fish. So you can see what I'm fishing. It's just a little channel through a wider pond. I was kind of stubborn all day, forcing the issue of fishing lakes and bayous, when what I should have been doing was getting back in this shallow stuff. Obviously, this is where the fish are. Makes sense. Rising tide, this is where they should be. Coming up on what looks to be a little bayou. This bayou's looks more like what we fished earlier today, but there's a bunch of fish running through here, so let's see if there's anything in this little bayou. See, this is where my heart is. This is the stuff I normally love to fish. It just hasn't happened today. The fish have been in the ponds, period. Oh, there's a redfish. Oh, it's a school of reds. My goodness. Oh, there he is. Matrix craw. First cast, I just picked it up. I saw a school of reds in here. They kind of vanished. Now I know where they are. Or at least one of them. That's a good fish. Is that beautiful or what? That is flat out beautiful. Wear yourself out, big boy. You're lucky. You know why? Because you're number 6. All right. Let's let him go. Oh, look at this. Look at this. Redfish. On the Echo 1.75, baby. Come here, big boy. Come here, big boy. Get in the boat. Nice. Now this Echo 1.75 is not a bait you would think to fish in a pond like this, but this little channel, kind of like the perfect depth. It's about 2 feet and all these reds are stacked up in it. And the channel is pretty clean. There's not a lot of grass in it, but this bait does remarkably well around grass. And it's not gonna come through matted grass, but because of the way it orients itself as it's running, it kind of just knocks the grass out of the way. And you will get some grass on it, believe me, but it does better than you'd expect for a crankbait. Now the way I like to fish this bait is with some twitches, because when you twitch, that bait will stop, and that's typically enough to stimulate that strike. You get some hits on a straight retrieve, but I like to just give it a little pop here and there. As I said, you will sometimes get some grass. Oh, there's a big red. There's a big red. Let's see if he'll hit the crankbait. He doesn't know I'm here. Yep, he got it. He got it. That was awesome. That was awesome. I don't even need to land this fish. I don't care. Just seeing that was worth the trip. I tell you, many days sight fishing, the fish just won't cooperate. They just, man, look at this. He is taking off. Then there are days like today where just about every fish you see is gonna hit. Whew, that's a big fish. That's a big fish. I'm not sure. I don't think I have a 27-inch ruler in this boat. But all you tournament guys, this is one you'd want. That's a big fish. He's in that 27-inch range. I'm not gonna horse him at all. I really want this crankbait back. Let's go back and get him. All right. Dude, I'm gonna let you go. It's your lucky day. I'm about to get a hook in my hand. So if you come and do this and you see a wake that kind of darts off quickly, most of the time that's a mullet. The redfish kind of move around like they own the place. Now they will spook and run off, mostly from you. There's a definite art to learning the difference between a mullet wake and a redfish wake. You don't really want to waste your time throwing at mullet. And I'll tell you, the true sight fishing guys don't do a whole lot of blind casting. They just kind of keep their powder dry and ready for when they see a fish. I kind of like being surprised. Not that I'm on, oh, not that I mind watching them eat. This doesn't feel like a very big one, but he is swimming at me. Oh, he's bigger than I thought. He's bigger than I thought. He's just swimming at me. Oh yeah, definitely bigger than I thought. This is just a redfish slaughter. Slaughter. This water's gorgeous and it is full of redfish. Oh, what were you? Why'd you not take it? There he is! He did take it! You hit it twice, didn't you? It's another keeper. On the small side, but he's a keeper. But not today. Or not right now. Because I got 5 of his buddies cooling in the box. Thanks for the fight, buddy. See you next time. That fish hit it and spit it in one fell swoop and then came right back. I don't know if he came right back or one of his traveling partners came back, but something hit it. There's one. Oh, come on. Another keeper. It's not even fair. Not even fair. Big boy. He's not a big boy, but he will be. Grow up, buddy. Now there are lots of great baits out there, and they'll all work in the perfect situation for that bait. But if you target redfish right now anywhere in South Louisiana, there's really only 3 baits you need, in no particular order. Here they are. The first is a matrix craw. This is really a must. Getting back in these ponds and sight fishing, they're really choked with grass. You fish this Texas rig and it comes right through that vegetation with no problem. You can speed it along. When you get it close to a fish, you just drop it and they'll nail it. Most of the time they'll nail it. Second bait, of course, is my H&H Gold Spinner, the Cajun Spin, with a 1/4 ounce death grip jig head and a shrimp creole colored matrix shad. Now, I'll sometimes change that color on the matrix shad if the water happens to be dirty, but that's always my go-to. I want to find clean water, of course, and that's what I like to throw in the clean water. And the third bait is this Echo 1.75 crankbait. This thing puts out a ton of vibration in the water. It's really loud. It's got a great wobble, and redfish just gobble it. I actually sight fished a redfish today with that bait. Very cool. They were all quite productive today. Well, I'm gonna head on in. Whew, it's getting hot. You can definitely tell it's August. Hopefully you got a lot out of the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Also subscribe to the Marshman Masson channel on YouTube. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. And until next time, if we don't see you here in the marsh, we'll see you right here on Marshman Masson.